Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, We're the Movie Couple. I'm Wendy.
I'm Dustin.
And this is our non-spoiler review for Wonka. Directed by Paul King, Wonka is based on the extraordinary character at the center of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and tells the wondrous story of how the world's greatest inventor, magician, and chocolate maker became the beloved Willy Wonka we know today. You guys may have already seen our trailer reactions to Wonka. We always, I feel like going into like a prequel of a beloved classic movie, you want to be just like optimistically
Pessimistic?
No.
You're setting yourself up for disaster.
Not like too high of expectation.
Exactly.
There's another, you guys will know, you're going to put it in the comments. Because apparently at 11 o'clock at night, my brain stops computing. But in any case, we got to screen Wonka, and I haven't felt like this in a movie in a long time, where you just sit there and it's wholesome and it's fun and it's lovely and you're just watching the story unfold. I feel like I had a smile on my face the whole time. The way this movie moves and the pacing, it's under 2 hours, just under 2 hours. It's like an hour 56. So
but that's
it's
with
just
credits.
With credits. But they use that time so well. Like, I wouldn't change a thing about the way they paced this movie at all. It was really concise of like setting up where we are, and then it gives you the right time to flashback, and it's so descriptive, and like you just know where it's going, and it's so clear that it's not muddled and nothing was ever rushed.
Yeah, they really did know exactly what to focus on and when to focus on in this movie. When I was first watching the trailers, that was actually going to be one of my big concerns. I was like, okay, it's a musical, it looks very bright, very colorful. Are they going to just go nuts with it and just be all over the place and try to be this wacky, zany, weird kind of Willy Wonka story, kind of, you know, what they did with Johnny Depp. Don't get me wrong, there was some things that I did enjoy about the Johnny Depp Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, but it was really weird and all over the place. This one, it was really well paced, really well thought out. It started off showing you, bringing you Wonka right at the beginning, giving us a really good number, telling you exactly what his goals are and what his dreams are, what his problems are. I said it to Wendy in the theater, if you've ever been to California Adventure and they have that, a suitcase and a dream.
Oh, with Mickey and the dancers.
That first song kind of had that feel to it. This is my dream and I'm here to do this. And
like bright-eyed young man showing up in the city, ready to make chocolate, ready to share his talent with the world.
And just happy to be there, but then some troubles show up, and then some difficulties show up, and then, all of the money that I have with me is gone. But yet, one thing that really just is through the entire movie is that Wonka really never loses that passion, that hope, that dream, that bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kind of feel to him. And I really enjoyed that about this character. And Timothee Chalamet does a really good job on bringing like a young Willy Wonka to life. And there's little things from the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory that are just sprinkled in there so well, to where it's not forced in your face. It's not like, hey, remember this part in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? And I think it's just very well, evenly handed. And you know what? It had a vibe of, I told this to Wendy when we came out, of like Paddington, the movie.
Paddington.
And I'm like, it's heartfelt, it's warm. Even though it's kiddie and goofy and fun, it's not like, you're not going to sit there and just hate on it because it's so cute and heartwarming and innocent.
Yeah, I think the vibe of it is in line with the original, the Gene Wilder version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So it's giving a look of like, when you see the young Wonka, it's not like, how did he become like this type of person? It's like, no, that personality, the whimsical, the daydreaming, and all of that has been there, and it's just grown with him when we see him as, like full grown Willy Wonka with the factory in the film. I love that they threw subtle hints as you expect that they would, because this is a prequel, of like musical cues or little I would say more musical cues than visual, but there are visual too. And then for Timothy, with obviously as an actor, and he's a really really great actor. I really have enjoyed watching him in everything that he is in, and like just how far he sinks himself into a character where it's like, yeah, the face looks the same, but like the movement, the persona, the way he stands and speaks is completely different. Like if you compare this and Dune, it's like two completely different people.
This and his appearances on Saturday Night Live,
Oh,
completely
yeah.
different. But honestly, I can sit down and see Timothy Chalamet as young Gene Wilder. I'm like, okay, I can see it's a really good casting on look, but also good casting on acting.
Yeah, and there's little things you know for sure he definitely studied. I'm sure he's already seen the movie before he was cast in the role, because I feel like everybody probably has for the most part. But you know, as an actor, you do your due diligence and you study, and there are things that Gene Wilder did as Willy Wonka that you will see in young Wonka, which is kind of nice to kind of see that like subtlety. It's not forced, it's very natural the way he does it, and I really like it. Visually, it is stunning. It's colorful and bright and fun. There's great musical numbers. As far as like singing, I wouldn't say Timothy is like the best singer, but I also wasn't going in expecting Broadway, but he's fine, and he was just such a joy to watch. He nailed every single song, and more than just like vocal performance, it was the emotion behind the song that really got me. And there's one song that came towards the end, and I was just like, I didn't think I was gonna cry seeing this, because the prequel was happy, you know, and then it got me, and I was like, dang, every time Timothy in like one of these dramatic roles gets me every single time.
The one time that they did this one particular song, they used it at the perfect time, very appropriate, and yeah, near the end, you start going, oh, okay, no, I'm good, but then something else happens, you're like, oh my gosh, and then they hit you with the song, and you're just like, perfect timing. And honestly, Timothée Chalamet is, of course, the standout in this movie, and he does really good on the singing. But yeah, like Wendy said, there's no like very impressive moments with him singing, but everything else is great. But I also have to admit, I love the entire cast of characters.
They're so fun to watch.
Keegan-Michael Key does a great job. All of Wonka's supporting friends are really fun and interesting, and they all have like their unique skills that bring a special thing to the group. And the villains.
Oh, the Chocolate Cartel.
The Chocolate Cartel are really fun.
Yes.
To where you're just like, these are fun villains that you just kind of want to see, wreak havoc, and to see through his shenanigans, Wonka be able to bring down.
Yeah, it's like, who would be the best kind of villain to go up against Wonka? Greedy, sleazy businessmen.
And you really
who are insecure about their product, but they're lying to everybody else, so they buy it anyways.
And I love the world that they set up to make it so chocolate is so valuable in this world, and I just love how they kind of created the that chocolate is pretty much as good as currency.
yeah, pretty much, and I like that, and I like that they really made sure that you understood that this is in its own like world. It's not like real life rules doesn't technically apply there, and I love that, because it's Willy Wonka and it's fantastical, and it's fun. I love the songs and I love the costumes. I just had like really wholesome, great time in this movie. Naturally, we have to talk about Hugh Grant as the Oompa Loompa. That really caught us off guard when we were watching the trailer, because it's like we knew he was in the movie and then we forgot that he was gonna, because we're so focused on like, oh, Willy Wonka, and it was a prequel, and I was like, I don't know how much Oompa Loompa we're gonna see in this, and it's Hugh Grant. I also, when he showed up, anytime he showed up, stole the scene. Like, the theater lost their mind, and it was a lot of oohs and ahs because it's an Oompa Loompa, and I, like...
People came out of the theater going, Oompa Loompa. And it's very much reminiscent the
same.
original Oompa Loompas.
Yes.
Not the, they're
not the other one.
Yeah, they're very much in theme with the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. So you will be, I think if you're wondering how they did it, like, I really enjoyed all of like his interaction with Wonka, just everything, just picture perfect.
Yeah, and I wish he was in it a little bit more though, but I don't know if using him more would have changed it a little too much, because it might have been just enough, but I honestly would have liked to have seen a little bit more of the Oompa Loompa.
I do have a small complaint about this movie, and that is it's not a performance issue. It's the Keegan-Michael Key character. And I feel like he somehow falls into the category of, like, I know this man, we already know he's funny. We already know that. So, like, we don't have to, explore that, because naturally he is funny. But the man can sing. If you haven't watched Schmigadoon, you need to watch it. It's a musical. The man can sing. He can perform. So you put him in musicals, and he was in Jingle Jangle as well. Mm-hmm. But the character, they don't, like, utilize his performance abilities in singing and dancing at all. He is like kind of placed in, and he'll get a singing part, but like small part compared to everybody else. And then it's always kind of like the joke. He's like the comic relief, and he's this. And I was just like, can we stop putting him in these? I just feel
utilize the man.
So frustrated, because I know he's so good, and it frustrates me because I was going into this thinking, oh, we're gonna get not like a solo number, but we're gonna get, I don't know, something a little bit more substantial.
I would have liked to have seen something closer to like a solo number or a duet, or because he can sing, he can dance, he can perform in a musical because he's done hundreds of them.
Yeah.
And I would have liked to seen him utilized a little bit more in this movie.
Yeah, so anyways, that's my one nitpick for this movie. But with that said, we're going to go ahead and move on to our rating. Our rating scale is a little bit different. It's not like numbers or grades, so it's just listed in the video description below. Go ahead and check that out. I went into this movie sort of like tempering my expectations, but excited to see, like I was confident knowing that Timothee Chalamet is going to really deliver, but my worry was like, how are they going to handle the story? Are they going to jam pack everything in? Are they going to explain too much or too little? And I'm going to be left unsatisfied. And I left feeling my heart so full and happy, and I actually can't wait to see it again. So I'm going to give this movie a catch it opening night.
I am right there with you. I loved everything about this movie. I loved the way the characters, the dance numbers, the musical numbers, the way they created the world, all of the supporting characters. I do wish they would have used Keegan-Michael Key a little bit more, because we know how incredibly talented he is. And also, even though he had a really small part, the Oompa Loompa, Hugh Grant, wasn't utilized as much as I would have liked as well, because I think he was great in every scene that he was in. He made a great Oompa Loompa. But all of that considered, I love this movie. I'm going to give it a catch it opening night as well. It is fantastic.
So 2 things before we completely end this video review. Definitely, like when you go to the theaters to watch this, definitely buy concession, and you have to get chocolate. Otherwise, you're going to be hungry for chocolate. So get your popcorn, whatever, but like definitely have chocolate. And then stay tuned, because there is a mid-credit scene.
Yeah, once the full credits start rolling,
then you can
kind of duck out if you want. But yeah, wait for a little bit and there'll be a mid-credit.
Yeah, so you enjoy that. And with that said, that is our non-spoiler review for Wonka. Once you've seen the movie, come on back and let us know in the comments what you thought of the film. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.